My dear child, I need you to know something tonight. I saw everything, every single moment, every tear that fell when you thought no one was watching, every time you tried to smile through the pain, every night you lay awake wondering if anyone truly understood what you were going through. I was there. I am here. And I see you completely. I saw you in that moment when the weight of everything felt too heavy to bear. When you sat in your car after that difficult conversation, gripping the steering wheel, trying to hold yourself together. I was in that silence with you. I felt every tremor of your heart as you wondered how much more you could take. I witnessed the morning you woke up and for just a split second forgot about your troubles, only to have reality crash back over you like a wave. I saw the way your shoulders sagged as you remembered what you were facing. The way you took that deep breath and chose to get up anyway, even though everything in you wanted to pull the covers back over your head and disappear from the world. I was there during those conversations where you had to pretend everything was fine, where people asked how you were doing, and you said, "I'm good," while your heart was breaking inside. I heard the words you couldn't say. I felt the loneliness that comes from being surrounded by people who care about you, but not being able to let them see the real depth of your struggle. I saw you trying so hard to be strong for everyone else, comforting your friend when they were hurting, even though you were falling apart, taking care of responsibilities when you could barely take care of yourself, showing up for others when you desperately needed someone to show up for you. I watched you give from an empty cup because that's just who you are, and my heart was moved by your selflessness even in your pain. I was present in those quiet moments when you questioned everything, when you wondered if you were making the right choices, if you were good enough, if things would ever get better. I heard every doubt that whispered in your mind, every fear that told you that you weren't strong enough, smart enough, worthy enough. I saw how those thoughts tormented you, and I wanted to reach down and silence every lie that was trying to steal your peace. I witnessed the nights when sleep wouldn't come, when you stared at the ceiling replaying conversations, worrying about tomorrow, feeling the anxiety rise in your chest like a tide you couldn't control. I was there in that restlessness. I saw you tossing and turning, your mind racing with all the what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. Even when you felt completely alone in the darkness, I was keeping watch over you. I saw the way you tried to fix everything yourself, how you researched solutions, made lists, created plans, reached out for help, only to feel like you were hitting wall after wall. I watched you pour your energy into things that seemed to lead nowhere, and I felt your frustration when nothing seemed to work the way you hoped it would. I was there when you felt abandoned by people you trusted, when friends didn't understand, when family members said the wrong things, when the people you expected to be there simply weren't. I saw the hurt in your eyes when you realized you couldn't count on certain people the way you thought you could. I felt the sting of that disappointment right along with you. I witnessed your anger too, the moments when you were frustrated with circumstances, with other people, maybe even with me. When you wanted to shout at the unfairness of it all, when you wondered why good people like you have to go through such hard things. I wasn't offended by your anger. I understood it. I saw the pain underneath it, and I honored your honesty even in your fury. I was present during your moments of deepest despair, when you wondered if you could keep going, when the future looked so uncertain and scary that you couldn't imagine how you'd make it through, when you felt like you were drowning and couldn't find anything solid to hold on to. I saw you in that dark place, and my heart broke with yours. I watched you try to numb the pain in all the ways people do. Maybe you threw yourself into work, or binged shows until late at night, or scrolled endlessly through your phone trying to distract yourself from your thoughts. Maybe you ate when you weren't hungry, or didn't eat when you should have. I saw those coping mechanisms, and I didn't judge you for them. I understood that you were just trying to survive. I was there when you felt like you were failing at everything, when you looked at other people's lives and wondered what was wrong with you, when you compared your struggles to their highlight reels and felt like you were falling short in every area. I saw how unfairly you judged yourself, how harshly you spoke to yourself in ways you would never speak to a friend. I witnessed the moments when you tried to pray but didn't know what to say, when you felt too tired, too hurt, too confused to find words, when you wondered if I was even listening or if I cared about what you were going through. I heard every unspoken prayer, every wordless cry of your heart. Your silence spoke volumes to me. I saw you helping others even when you needed help yourself. The way you listened to a friend's problems when you had your own. The way you offered encouragement when you needed encouragement. The way you gave love when you desperately needed to receive it. Your heart's capacity to care for others, even in your pain, revealed so much about who you truly are. I was present when you had to make difficult decisions with limited information. When you didn't know which path to choose, which option was right, which direction to go. I saw you wrestling with choices that felt overwhelming, trying to do the right thing when the right thing wasn't clear. I watched you do your best with what you had. I witnessed your small victories that no one else noticed. The day you got out of bed when everything in you wanted to stay there. The time you chose kindness when you felt bitter. The moment you kept going when quitting seemed easier. These seemingly small acts of courage were mighty victories in my sight. I saw you question your worth, your purpose, your place in this world. I watched you wonder if you mattered, if your life had meaning, if anyone would truly miss you if you weren't here. Those dark thoughts that crept in during your lowest moments. I saw them all, and they grieved my heart because I know the truth about who you are. I was there during the panic attacks that came out of nowhere, when your chest tightened and your breath became shallow, and you felt like you were losing control. I saw the fear in your eyes as you wondered what was happening to your body, as you tried to calm yourself down, as you hoped no one would notice what you were going through. I witnessed the times you felt guilty for struggling, when you told yourself you shouldn't feel this way, that others have it worse, that you should be grateful for what you have. I saw how you minimized your own pain and needs, how you felt bad for feeling bad. But your struggles are valid, your pain is real, and you don't need to apologize for being human. I was present when relationships felt complicated and difficult, when you didn't know how to communicate what you needed, when you felt misunderstood, when love felt conditional or distant. I saw you trying to navigate the complex dynamics of human connection while dealing with your own internal battles. I saw the mask you wore to protect yourself, the smile you put on when inside you were crying, the "I'm fine" you said when you were anything but fine, the energy you mustered to appear normal when normal felt impossible. I understood why you felt you had to hide your true feelings from the world. I witnessed your financial worries, your health concerns, your relationship troubles, your work stress, your family drama. I saw how these external pressures added weight to your already heavy heart. How you tried to juggle everything while feeling like you were dropping all the balls. I was there when you felt like giving up, when the fight seemed too hard and you were too tired to keep battling, when you wondered if surrender might be easier than continuing to struggle. I saw your weariness, and my heart reached out to yours in those moments of deepest fatigue. I saw you at your most vulnerable. In the shower where you finally let yourself cry. In your car where you screamed because you needed to release the pressure. In your bed where you curled up like a child needing comfort. I was present in every moment of your breaking, holding space for your humanity. I witnessed your confusion about what to do next. When every option seemed complicated, when advice from others felt overwhelming or contradictory, when you couldn't see a clear path forward. I saw you paralyzed by indecision, afraid of making the wrong choice, desperate for clarity that seemed just out of reach. I was there when you felt disconnected from everyone and everything, when you felt like an outsider looking in at everyone else's seemingly normal lives, when you felt strange and different and alone in your experience. I saw that isolation, and I want you to know that you were never truly alone. I saw your physical exhaustion from carrying emotional burdens, how your body ached from the stress, how you felt tired even after sleeping, how the weight of your worries manifested in headaches and tight muscles and shallow breathing. Your body was telling the story of your heart's burden. I witnessed the times you tried to escape through sleep, hoping that when you woke up things might be different, or at least feel more manageable. I saw you pulling blankets over your head, trying to find a few moments of peace in unconsciousness, hoping for dreams that were kinder than your waking reality. I was present when you felt overwhelmed by simple tasks, when making decisions felt impossible, when answering a text felt too hard, when just existing felt like too much effort. I saw how the smallest things could feel mountainous when you were already stretched beyond your limits. I saw you searching for answers everywhere, reading articles, talking to friends, seeking advice, looking for someone who might have the magic words that would make everything make sense. I watched you grasping for understanding, for solutions, for hope that things could be different. I witnessed your moments of unexpected joy that broke through the darkness like surprising rays of sunlight. A song that touched your heart, a kind word from a stranger, a moment of beauty that reminded you that good things still exist. I treasured those moments right along with you. I was there when you felt guilty for having good moments in the midst of your struggle, when you wondered if you were being authentic in your pain, if you could also experience happiness. I saw how you questioned whether you deserved joy while you were still working through difficult things. I saw everything, my precious child. Every moment of pain, every struggle, every fear, every doubt, every tear. But I also saw your resilience, your courage, your love, your determination to keep going even when you didn't know how. I saw the beauty of your heart, even in the midst of its breaking. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. I have been with you through every single moment, and I am with you now as you listen to these words. Everything you've been through, everything you're feeling, everything you're facing. I see it all, and my heart is full of love and compassion for you. Tonight, as you rest, know that you can release the burden of carrying everything by yourself. You don't have to be strong enough to handle it all. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to fix everything right now. I am here, and I am big enough to hold all of your concerns, all of your fears, all of your pain. Rest in the knowledge that you are seen, you are known, and you are deeply, perfectly loved. My beloved child, now that you know I have seen everything you've been through, I want you to understand something even deeper. I don't just see your pain from a distance. I understand it intimately. Every burden you carry, I feel the weight of it with you. Every fear that grips your heart, I comprehend its power over you. Every moment of confusion and uncertainty, I know exactly why it feels so overwhelming. I understand the particular kind of exhaustion you feel. It's not just physical tiredness that comes from a long day or lack of sleep. It's the bone-deep weariness that comes from fighting battles no one else can see. It's the fatigue of constantly trying to hold yourself together when everything inside feels like it's falling apart. It's the exhaustion of wearing a mask day after day, of pretending you're okay when you're drowning on the inside. I know why you wake up some mornings, and the first feeling that hits you isn't hope or excitement for the day ahead, but dread. That heavy feeling in your chest that settles in before you're even fully conscious, reminding you of all the things you have to face, all the problems that didn't magically solve themselves while you slept. I understand that sinking feeling when reality crashes back over you like a cold wave. I comprehend the weight of the financial pressure you're under. It's not just about the numbers in your bank account or the bills that keep coming. It's about the constant mental calculation you're doing. Can I afford this? Should I buy that? What if an emergency happens? It's about the stress that sits in your stomach when you think about the future, wondering if you'll ever feel financially secure, if you'll ever stop living paycheck to paycheck or worrying about money. I understand the complexity of your relationships and why they sometimes feel so difficult to navigate. The friend who means well but always seems to say the wrong thing. The family member who loves you but doesn't really understand what you're going through. The colleague who gets under your skin. The romantic relationship that feels more complicated than it should be. I know why these dynamics drain your energy, even when you want to love people well. I comprehend the unique loneliness you feel even when you're surrounded by people. It's the loneliness of feeling like no one really sees the real you, the you that's struggling and uncertain and afraid. It's the isolation that comes from feeling like you can't be completely honest about what's going on inside your heart and mind. It's the ache of wanting to be truly known and accepted, but being afraid that if people saw the full truth of your struggles, they might judge you or pull away. I understand the pressure you put on yourself to have everything figured out. The voice in your head that tells you that other people your age seem to know what they're doing, seem to have their lives together, seem to be making better progress than you are. I know how that comparison steals your peace and makes you feel like you're falling behind in some race that everyone else seems to be winning. I comprehend why making decisions feels so overwhelming right now. It's not just that you don't know what choice to make. It's that every option feels like it carries huge consequences. You're afraid of making the wrong choice and having to live with regret. You're tired of having to figure everything out on your own. You're overwhelmed by the weight of responsibility that sits on your shoulders. I understand the grief you carry, even if what you've lost isn't something others would necessarily recognize as a loss. Maybe it's the grief of dreams that didn't work out the way you hoped. Maybe it's mourning the version of yourself you used to be before life got so complicated. Maybe it's grieving relationships that changed or ended, or opportunities that passed you by, or the innocence you had before you learned how hard life could be. I know why your mind races at night when you're trying to sleep. The same thoughts spinning around and around. The conversation you wish you'd handled differently, the decision you need to make, the problem you can't solve, the worry about what might happen tomorrow. I understand how frustrating it is when your body is tired, but your mind won't quiet down, when you desperately need rest, but peace feels just out of reach. I comprehend the anxiety that shows up in your body in ways that sometimes surprise you. The tight chest, the shallow breathing, the knot in your stomach, the tension in your shoulders that never seems to fully release. I understand how discouraging it can be when your body holds on to stress, even when your mind is trying to relax, when physical symptoms remind you of your emotional struggles. I understand why you sometimes feel guilty for not being happier. You look around at your life, and you know you have good things, people who love you, blessings to be grateful for. But knowing you should feel grateful doesn't automatically make the sadness or anxiety or fear go away. I comprehend the additional burden that comes from feeling like you should be handling things better than you are. I know the particular frustration of feeling stuck. Whether it's in a job that drains your soul, a living situation that doesn't feel right, a pattern of thinking that keeps you trapped, or a cycle of behavior you can't seem to break. I understand how helpless it feels when you can see that something needs to change, but you don't know how to change it, or you've tried to change it and nothing seems to work. I comprehend the fear of the future that sits quietly in the background of your daily life. Not just the big fears about health or safety or global events, but the smaller fears about whether you'll ever feel truly settled, whether you'll find your place in the world, whether the relationships you want will develop, whether you'll be able to handle whatever comes next. I understand why you sometimes feel like you're too much for the people in your life. Too needy, too emotional, too complicated, too much work. I know why you sometimes hold back from asking for help or sharing what's really going on because you don't want to be a burden. I comprehend the painful way you've learned to make yourself smaller to try to be more acceptable to others. I know the exhaustion that comes from constantly trying to fix yourself. Reading self-help books, listening to podcasts, trying new strategies, working on personal growth, attempting to think more positively or be more grateful or develop better habits. I understand how discouraging it can be when you put in so much effort to improve your situation, but still feel stuck in many of the same patterns. I comprehend the confusion you feel about what you actually want versus what you think you should want. The pressure to want certain things because they're what society expects, what your family hopes for you, what your friends are pursuing. I understand how hard it can be to hear your own voice underneath all the other voices telling you how you should live your life. I know why you sometimes feel like you're not cut out for this world, like you're too sensitive for how harsh everything can be, too emotional for how practical everything needs to be, too idealistic for how cynical everything seems to be. I understand the feeling that you were designed for a gentler world than the one you find yourself living in. I understand the shame you carry about things you've done, mistakes you've made, ways you've hurt people or let them down. The way those memories replay in your mind at the worst moments, making you question your worth and your goodness. I comprehend how heavy that shame feels and how it colors the way you see yourself. I know the disappointment you feel about how some things in your life have turned out. The dreams that didn't materialize, the relationships that didn't work, the paths that led to dead ends, the efforts that didn't pay off the way you hoped. I understand how that disappointment can make it harder to hope for good things, harder to trust that better is possible. I comprehend the way physical pain complicates everything else you're dealing with. Whether it's chronic illness, persistent headaches, back pain, digestive issues, or any other physical struggle. I understand how pain in your body affects your emotions, your energy, your ability to cope with stress, your hope for the future. I understand the pressure you feel to be productive all the time, to always be accomplishing something, moving forward, making progress. The guilt that creeps in when you need to rest, when you need to just be still, when you need to take time to process what you're going through instead of constantly pushing toward the next goal or task. I know why you sometimes feel invisible, like you could disappear, and it would take people a while to notice. Not because people don't care about you, but because everyone is so busy with their own lives and struggles. I understand that particular loneliness of feeling like you matter to people, but not in the deep, essential way you long to matter. I comprehend the complicated relationship you have with hope. How you want to be hopeful, but you're afraid to get your hopes up because you've been disappointed before. How you oscillate between moments of believing things can get better and moments of feeling like nothing will ever really change. I understand why hope sometimes feels risky. I understand the mental fog that makes it hard to concentrate, hard to make decisions, hard to feel sharp and clear thinking. Whether it comes from stress, or sadness, or medication, or just the overwhelm of everything you're processing. I know how frustrating it is when your mind doesn't feel like it's working the way it should. I know the social exhaustion that comes from feeling like you have to perform normalcy when you're with other people. The energy it takes to engage in small talk when your heart is heavy, to laugh at jokes when you feel like crying, to ask about other people's lives when you can barely manage your own. I comprehend why you sometimes feel angry at people who seem to have easier lives, who seem to glide through situations that feel incredibly difficult for you. I understand that anger, and I don't judge you for it. It's human to look around and wonder why some people seem to struggle less, why some people seem to have more natural resilience or better circumstances or more support. I understand the way trauma lives in your body and mind, even trauma that others might not recognize as significant. The way certain sounds or smells or situations can suddenly transport you back to difficult moments. The way your nervous system sometimes reacts to things that your logical mind knows are safe. I comprehend how exhausting it is to live with a body and mind that sometimes feel like they're working against you. I know the confusion you feel about your own emotions, when they feel too big, too small, too intense, not intense enough, inappropriate for the situation, or just completely overwhelming. I understand how it feels to not trust your own emotional responses, because they don't always make sense to you or match what you think you should be feeling. I comprehend the weight of feeling responsible for other people's emotions and well-being. The way you absorb their stress, their sadness, their anxiety. The way you feel like it's your job to make everyone else feel better, even when you're struggling to take care of yourself. I understand how draining it is to be so attuned to everyone else's needs that you lose track of your own. I understand the fear of being truly seen, because with being seen comes the risk of being rejected. The safer choice seems to be to stay hidden, to show only the parts of yourself that you think are acceptable, to keep your struggles and imperfections private. But I also know how lonely that safety can be. I know why you sometimes feel like you're watching your life from the outside, like you're going through the motions, but not really living, like you're somehow disconnected from your own experience. That feeling of existing, but not fully inhabiting your life, of being present, but not really being present. I comprehend every layer of your struggle because I understand the human heart completely. I know why things affect you the way they do. I know what you need even when you don't know what you need. I know the healing that your heart is crying out for, even when you can't put it into words. Your burdens are not too heavy for me to understand. Your pain is not too complex for me to comprehend. Your situation is not too complicated for me to care about. I understand it all, and I understand you completely and perfectly and with infinite compassion. You are not broken beyond understanding. You are not too much. You are not alone in your struggle. I am here with you in the understanding, and I want to offer you something that your heart desperately needs. My peace that surpasses all understanding, my rest for your weary soul. My precious child, I have seen your pain, and I understand the depths of your struggle. Now I want to speak words of comfort over your weary heart. I want you to know that in the midst of everything you're facing, there is a place of rest waiting for you. There is peace that can quiet the storm inside your soul. There is comfort that can ease the ache you've been carrying. Come to me, you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Not the kind of rest that comes from sleep, though that too is a gift I want to give you. I'm speaking of a deeper rest. The rest that comes from knowing you don't have to carry everything by yourself anymore. The rest that comes from understanding that you are held, supported, loved beyond measure. I am your refuge, the place you can run to when the world feels too harsh, too demanding, too overwhelming. When people disappoint you, when circumstances crush your spirit, when your own thoughts become your enemy, I am the safe place where you can find shelter. In me, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to perform. You don't have to be anything other than exactly who you are in this moment, struggles and all. Your heart has been like a storm-tossed sea, waves of emotion crashing over you again and again. Fear, anxiety, sadness, anger, confusion. They've been battering your spirit without mercy. But I speak peace over those waters now. I say to the storm in your heart, be still. I command the chaos in your mind to calm. Not because I minimize what you're going through, but because I have the power to bring peace even in the midst of the storm. I know you've been trying so hard to find answers, to figure everything out, to solve all your problems. You've been carrying the weight of believing that if you just think hard enough, plan well enough, work hard enough, you can fix everything that's broken in your life. But I want to lift that burden from your shoulders. You were never meant to be your own savior. Rest in the knowledge that I am working on your behalf, even when you can't see it. When you feel like you're drowning in responsibilities, remember that I am the lifeguard who never leaves his post. I am watching over you every moment, ready to pull you to safety when the waves threaten to overwhelm you. You don't have to be strong enough to swim against every current. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop fighting and let me carry you to shore. I want to speak to the fear that has been your unwelcome companion for so long. The fear of the future, the fear of not being enough, the fear that things will never get better. Fear may have been loud in your ears, but my voice is stronger. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. Every fearful thought that tells you that you won't make it, that you can't handle what's coming, that you're destined for failure. These are lies that have no power over the truth of who you are in me. You are stronger than you know, not because of your own strength, but because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you feel like you can't take another step, that's when my power shows up most clearly in your life. You don't have to muster up courage you don't have, or manufacture strength that isn't there. I am your strength when you have none left. I see how hard you've been trying to control outcomes, to manage other people's reactions, to predict and prevent problems before they happen. But control is a burden you were never meant to carry. Release your grip on trying to orchestrate every detail of your life. Trust that I am orchestrating things for your good, even when you can't understand how. Rest in the knowledge that my plans for you are good, full of hope and a future. The anxiety that wakes you up at night, that tightens your chest during the day, that whispers worst-case scenarios in your ear, I want to replace it with my peace. My peace isn't dependent on your circumstances being perfect. It's not contingent on having all the answers or knowing what's going to happen next. My peace can coexist with uncertainty. It can flourish even in the midst of difficult circumstances. I know you felt like you're walking through a dark valley, where you can't see the path ahead clearly, where every step feels uncertain and scary. But even in the darkest valley, I am with you. My presence is the light that guides your steps. My voice is the one calling you forward when you don't know which way to go. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the next step. Just focus on the step right in front of you, and trust that I'm leading you toward good things. Your heart has been broken by disappointment, by relationships that didn't work out the way you hoped, by dreams that seemed to crumble, by prayers that felt unanswered. But I am close to the brokenhearted. I don't stand at a distance when you're in pain. I come near. I sit with you in your sadness. I hold the pieces of your broken dreams with tender care, and I promise you that I can create something beautiful from the fragments. I want to speak healing over the wounds that people have inflicted on your heart. The words that cut deep, the rejection that made you question your worth, the betrayal that made you afraid to trust. I am the healer of hearts. I can restore what has been damaged. I can make whole what has been broken. The pain you've experienced doesn't define you. The ways others have failed you don't determine your value. You are precious in my sight, not because of what you've accomplished, or how well you've performed, or how little you've struggled. You are precious simply because you exist, because you are mine, because I created you with intention and purpose and love. Your worth isn't diminished by your struggles. Your value isn't decreased by your imperfections. You are cherished exactly as you are. I know you've been feeling like you're falling behind, like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck. But there is no timeline you need to keep up with except the one I have designed specifically for your life. You're not late. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be for this moment in your story. Trust my timing, even when it doesn't make sense to you. The loneliness that has been your constant companion, the feeling that no one truly understands what you're going through. I want to speak to that isolated place in your heart. You are not alone. Even when human relationships feel distant or complicated, even when you feel misunderstood by everyone around you, I am with you. I understand you completely. I know every thought, every feeling, every need you have, and I love you perfectly. I want to lift the burden of shame that you've been carrying. The voice that tells you that you should be handling things better, that you should be stronger, that you should have figured this out by now. Shame is not from me. I don't condemn you for your struggles. I don't judge you for your pain. I don't think less of you because you're going through a difficult season. My heart is full of compassion for you. Rest in my love that never changes based on your performance. My love for you isn't greater when you're doing well and lesser when you're struggling. It's constant, unwavering, perfect. On your worst day, when you feel like a failure, when you've made mistakes, when you can barely function, my love for you is exactly the same as it was on your best day. You cannot earn more of it, and you cannot lose it. I want to speak peace over your racing mind that won't let you rest. The thoughts that spiral and worry and replay painful moments over and over again. I can quiet those thoughts. I can bring stillness to the chaos in your head. When your mind feels like a storm, remember that I have authority over every storm. I can speak peace into the hurricane of your thoughts. The physical pain in your body that reflects the pain in your heart. The tight chest, the headaches, the exhaustion, the tension. I want to bring healing to every part of you. You are not just a soul. You are a whole person, body and spirit, and I care about every aspect of your well-being. I want to restore not just your emotional health, but your physical vitality as well. I see how you've been pushing yourself to keep going when everything in you wants to stop and rest. I want to give you permission to be gentle with yourself. Permission to move slowly when you need to. Permission to say no to things that drain you. Permission to prioritize your healing and well-being. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. Rest isn't lazy, it's wise. The grief you carry for things you've lost, people who are no longer in your life, dreams that didn't come to pass, versions of yourself you used to be. I want to comfort you in that grief. Grief is love with nowhere to go, and I honor the love behind your pain. I don't want to rush you through your grief or tell you to get over it quickly. I want to sit with you in it and help carry the weight of it. I know you've been wondering if you'll ever feel joy again, if you'll ever laugh without reservation, if you'll ever wake up excited about the day ahead. I want to assure you that joy is coming. Not the kind of happiness that depends on circumstances being perfect, but deep joy that comes from knowing you are loved, you are chosen, you have purpose, you have hope. Your future is not determined by your current circumstances. The pain you're experiencing now is not your final destination. The struggles you're facing are not the end of your story. I am writing a beautiful narrative with your life, and this difficult chapter is not the conclusion. There are pages yet to be written filled with hope, healing, love, and purpose. I want to replace your spirit of heaviness with a garment of praise. Where there has been mourning, I want to bring comfort. Where there has been despair, I want to plant hope. Where there has been fear, I want to establish faith. I am in the business of bringing beauty from ashes, of creating something magnificent from what seems ruined. Rest now in my presence. Let my peace wash over you like a gentle river, carrying away the stress and worry and pain you've been holding. Let my love surround you like a warm embrace, reminding you that you are safe, you are seen, you are treasured. Let my strength uphold you when you feel too weak to stand. You don't have to fix yourself before you come to me. You don't have to clean up your life or get your act together or figure everything out. Come as you are, with all your mess and brokenness and confusion. I don't love you because you're perfect. I love you because you're mine. And in my love, you'll find the healing and wholeness your heart has been searching for. Breathe deeply and let my peace fill every anxious space in your heart. Release the tension you've been holding in your body. Loosen your grip on all the things you've been trying to control. Surrender your worries, your fears, your burdens to me. I am big enough to handle them all. Tonight, as you rest, know that I am watching over you. I am your protector, your comforter, your safe place. Nothing can touch you that doesn't first pass through my hands. You can sleep peacefully knowing that I never sleep, never slumber, never stop caring for you. The road ahead may still have challenges, but you won't walk it alone. I will be with you every step of the way, providing strength for each day, grace for each moment, peace for each storm. You are going to be okay. More than okay, you are going to flourish. Trust me with your heart, and watch as I bring healing to every broken place. My beloved child, as you rest in my comfort and feel my peace beginning to settle in your heart, I want to speak to you about restoration. I want you to know that what you've been through, everything that has been broken, damaged, or lost, is not the end of your story. I am the God who restores. I am the one who takes what seems ruined and creates something beautiful. I am the master of making all things new. I know you look at your life right now and see so much that feels broken. Relationships that have been damaged, dreams that seem shattered, trust that has been betrayed, innocence that has been lost, health that has been compromised, hope that has been deferred. You see the fragments scattered around your life and wonder if anything can ever be whole again. But I want you to understand something profound about how I work. I don't just repair things back to how they were before. I don't simply patch up the broken pieces and hope they hold together. When I restore, I create something even more beautiful than what was there originally. I take the broken pieces of your life and I arrange them into a mosaic of grace, a masterpiece of redemption that tells a story of triumph over tragedy, hope over despair, love over loss. The pain you've experienced hasn't been wasted. Every tear you've cried, every sleepless night you've endured, every moment of struggle you've walked through, none of it has been meaningless. I am weaving it all together into a tapestry of purpose. What was meant to destroy you, I am using to develop character in you. What was intended to defeat you, I am turning into the very thing that makes you victorious. I want to speak restoration over your heart that has been wounded by rejection, by abandonment, by words that cut deep, by people who were supposed to love you but hurt you instead. Your heart was created to be whole, to love freely, to trust deeply, to hope without reservation. And that's exactly what I'm going to restore in you. Not naively, not foolishly, but with wisdom and discernment and strength. You're going to love again. Not the way you loved before, when you didn't know how cruel the world could be. You're going to love with the kind of mature, intentional love that comes from someone who has been hurt, but has chosen healing over bitterness. You're going to love with the depth that only comes from someone who knows what it's like to need love desperately. Your capacity for compassion is going to be greater because of what you've been through. I am restoring your ability to trust. Not blind trust that ignores red flags and warning signs, but healthy trust that can discern between people who are safe and those who aren't. Trust that is boundaried and wise. Trust that protects your heart while still allowing you to form meaningful connections. Trust that has been refined by experience and strengthened by wisdom. I want to speak restoration over your dreams. Maybe you had to let go of some dreams because they weren't realistic or healthy. Maybe life circumstances forced you to abandon plans you had made. Maybe people told you that your dreams were too big, too impractical, too ambitious. But I am the God of new dreams, better dreams, dreams that align perfectly with who you're becoming and the purpose I have for your life. Some of the dreams I'm placing in your heart now, you couldn't have handled before your season of struggle. Some of the opportunities that are coming your way required you to develop the character, the empathy, the strength, the wisdom that only comes through difficult experiences. Your struggles have been preparing you for blessings you can't even imagine yet. I am restoring your sense of identity. For too long, you've been defined by your struggles, by your pain, by your failures, by what others have said about you. But that's not who you are. You are my beloved child. You are chosen, set apart, created with incredible purpose and value. You are not damaged goods. You are not too broken to be used powerfully. You are not defined by your lowest moments or your biggest mistakes. Your identity is rooted in my unchanging love for you. When the world tells you that you're not enough, remember that I call you more than enough. When circumstances make you feel insignificant, remember that you are precious in my sight. When failures make you feel worthless, remember that your worth was established before you ever did anything to earn it or lose it. I am restoring your confidence. Not arrogance or self-centeredness, but healthy confidence that comes from knowing who you are and whose you are. Confidence that allows you to speak up for yourself, to set boundaries, to pursue opportunities, to take risks, to try new things. Confidence that doesn't need others' approval to feel secure because it's grounded in my approval of you. You're going to walk into rooms and feel like you belong there. You're going to share your ideas without constantly second-guessing yourself. You're going to pursue relationships and opportunities without being paralyzed by fear of rejection. You're going to move through the world with the quiet assurance of someone who knows they are loved and valued and significant. I want to speak restoration over your joy. I know it's been buried under layers of sadness, anxiety, disappointment, and pain. You might wonder if you'll ever feel genuinely happy again, if you'll ever laugh without reservation, if you'll ever wake up excited about the day ahead. But joy is part of who you are at your core. It's not dependent on your circumstances being perfect. It's a gift I want to restore in your heart. You're going to find yourself smiling at little things again. A beautiful sunset, a funny conversation with a friend, a moment of unexpected peace. You're going to discover that you can hold joy and sorrow at the same time, that you can appreciate good things even while you're still healing from difficult things. Your joy is going to be deeper and more resilient because it's been tested by fire. I am restoring your hope. Not wishful thinking or denial of reality, but genuine hope based on my promises and my character. Hope that believes better days are coming. Hope that trusts in my goodness, even when current circumstances are hard. Hope that can look at a closed door and believe that I'm opening a better one somewhere else. Your hope is going to be contagious. People who are struggling are going to be drawn to you because they'll see in your eyes the proof that it's possible to come through dark seasons and emerge stronger. Your story of restoration is going to be a source of encouragement to others who are still in the valley, who need to see evidence that there really is light at the end of the tunnel. I want to speak restoration over your relationships. Some relationships may be restored and become stronger than they were before. Others may need to be released so that healthier connections can take their place. I am bringing people into your life who will see your value, who will appreciate your heart, who will support your growth, who will be safe places for your vulnerable spirit. You're going to experience the kind of friendships you've always wanted. Relationships where you can be completely yourself, where you don't have to pretend or perform, where you are loved not despite your struggles, but in the midst of them. You're going to have people in your life who celebrate your victories and support you through your challenges. If romantic love is something your heart desires, I am preparing you for a love that is healthy, mutual, supportive, and life-giving. Someone who will see your worth, who will choose you consistently, who will be a partner in building a beautiful life together. Your season of being alone hasn't been punishment. It's been preparation for receiving and giving love in a way that honors both of you. I am restoring your sense of purpose. Maybe you've felt lost, like you don't know what you're supposed to be doing with your life, like you don't have anything meaningful to contribute. But purpose isn't just about your career or your major life accomplishments. Purpose is found in the daily ways you reflect my love to the world around you. Your purpose might be in the way you listen to a friend who's struggling. It might be in the kindness you show to a stranger. It might be in the work you do, the art you create, the problems you solve, the people you serve. Your purpose is woven into the fabric of who you are, and as you heal and grow, you'll discover it more and more clearly. I want to speak restoration over your physical health and vitality. I know the stress and pain and anxiety have taken a toll on your body, but I am the God who heals. I can restore energy to your tired body, peace to your nervous system, strength to your weary frame. I can bring healing to places where you hurt, rest to places where you're tense, vitality to places where you feel depleted. Your body is going to remember what it feels like to be relaxed, to breathe deeply, to move with ease, to sleep peacefully. You're going to wake up feeling rested instead of exhausted. You're going to have energy for the things you love. You're going to feel at home in your own skin again. I am restoring your finances and your sense of security. I know money has been a source of stress and worry, but I am your provider. I see every need you have, and I have plans to meet them in ways that might surprise you. Opportunities are coming. Doors are opening. Resources are being prepared. Your needs will be met, and you'll have enough to be generous to others as well. Financial peace isn't just about having a certain amount of money in your account. It's about trusting that I will take care of you, that you don't have to live in constant fear about your basic needs, that you can be wise with money without being consumed by worry about money. I want to speak restoration over your creativity and your passions. Maybe you felt too tired, too discouraged, too overwhelmed to engage in the things that used to bring you life. But I am rekindling those flames. I am restoring your desire to create, to explore, to learn, to grow, to try new things. The things that make you uniquely, you're going to flourish again. You're going to remember what you love and why you love it. You're going to have energy and enthusiasm for hobbies, for learning, for creative expression. You're going to discover new facets of yourself that you didn't even know existed. Your personality is going to bloom in ways that surprise and delight you. I am restoring your faith. Not just faith in me, though that's important too. Faith in yourself, faith in other people, faith in the possibility that life can be good, faith in the future. I know your faith has been shaken by disappointment, by unanswered prayers, by circumstances that didn't make sense. But faith is like a muscle that grows stronger when it's exercised, even when that exercise happens in difficult conditions. Your faith is going to be more mature, more nuanced, more resilient than it was before. You're going to be able to hold questions and certainty at the same time. You're going to trust me not because life is easy, but because you've experienced my faithfulness in the hardest places. Your testimony is going to be powerful because it's been forged in the fire of real struggle. I want to speak restoration over your mind and your thoughts. The negative thought patterns that have been wearing grooves in your brain, the lies you've believed about yourself, the worst-case scenarios that play on repeat. I am replacing all of that with truth, with hope, with peace. Your mind is going to be renewed. Your thought life is going to be transformed. You're going to catch yourself thinking positive thoughts without having to force them. You're going to notice that your default isn't worry and fear anymore. You're going to find that you can quiet anxious thoughts before they spiral out of control. Your mind is going to become a place of peace instead of a battlefield. I am restoring your ability to enjoy simple pleasures. A good meal, a beautiful day, a meaningful conversation, a favorite song, a comfortable bed, a warm cup of coffee. For too long, you've been too preoccupied with survival to notice these small gifts. But I want to restore your capacity for gratitude, for wonder, for appreciation of the little things that make life sweet. You're going to find yourself noticing sunsets again. You're going to taste your food instead of just consuming it for fuel. You're going to feel the warmth of sunshine on your skin, hear the beauty in music, appreciate the comfort of your own home. Life is going to feel worth living again. I want to speak restoration over your future. I know it's felt uncertain, scary, overwhelming, but your future is bright. Not because it will be free from all challenges, but because I am with you in whatever comes. I have prepared good works for you to walk in. I have relationships for you to enjoy. I have purposes for you to fulfill. I have joys for you to experience. Your best days are not behind you. Your greatest contributions are not in your past. Your deepest loves are not already lost. Your most significant impact is still ahead of you. The person you're becoming through this process of healing and restoration is going to be capable of things you can't imagine right now. I am making you new, not just fixing what was broken, but creating something altogether beautiful. You are my masterpiece in progress. Every day, as you surrender to my love and trust in my goodness, I am shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. The restoration I'm bringing to your life is going to be so complete, so beautiful, so far beyond what you could have imagined, that one day you'll look back on this season of struggle and be able to say with genuine gratitude that it was worth it. Not because the pain was good, but because what I created from the pain was glorious. Rest in this promise tonight. Your restoration has already begun. With every breath you take, every tear you release, every moment you choose to trust instead of despair, I am working. I am healing. I am restoring. I am making all things new in your life. Tomorrow is a new day, filled with new possibilities, new mercies, new opportunities for growth and healing and joy. Your story is far from over. The best chapters are still being written. Trust me with your heart, and watch as I restore everything that has been lost and create beauty beyond your wildest dreams. My beloved child, as we come to the close of this time together, I want to leave you with my peace. Not the temporary peace that depends on everything going right in your life, but the deep, abiding peace that comes from knowing you are completely loved, thoroughly known, and eternally secure in my care. As you prepare to rest tonight, I want you to release everything you've been holding so tightly. Release the worry about tomorrow, the regret about yesterday, the anxiety about what might happen. Let it all go and sink into the reality of this moment, where you are safe, where you are loved, where you are exactly where you need to be. Feel my presence surrounding you like a warm embrace. You are not alone in the darkness. You are not abandoned in your struggle. You are not forgotten in your pain. I am here with you, closer than your own breath, more constant than your heartbeat, more faithful than the sunrise. Let my peace settle into every anxious corner of your heart. Let it flow through every tense muscle in your body. Let it quiet every racing thought in your mind. This peace is my gift to you, not because you've earned it or because you deserve it, but simply because you are mine and I love you beyond measure. Tonight, as you lay your head down to rest, know that I am keeping watch over you. While you sleep, I am working on your behalf. I am arranging circumstances, opening doors, preparing blessings, orchestrating encounters that will be for your good. I never sleep, never slumber, never stop caring for you. You can rest in the knowledge that you don't have to solve everything tonight. You don't have to figure out your whole future before morning comes. You don't have to fix every broken thing in your life before you're allowed to find peace. My peace comes to you right where you are, in the midst of your uncertainty, in the middle of your healing process, in the center of your still unresolved struggles. Let this peace guard your heart and mind. Let it stand as a sentinel at the gate of your thoughts, turning away every worry that tries to steal your rest, every fear that attempts to rob your sleep, every anxious thought that seeks to disturb your peace. My peace is stronger than your strongest fear. It is more powerful than your deepest worry. It is more enduring than your most persistent anxiety. As you breathe in my peace. As you breathe out, release all the tension, all the stress, all the burden you've been carrying. With each breath, let yourself sink deeper into the reality of my love for you. With each exhale, let go of the need to control, to understand, to fix everything right now. I want you to know that everything you're going through is working together for your good. Even the parts that don't make sense, even the circumstances that seem unfair, even the struggles that feel pointless. I am weaving it all together into a story of redemption, a narrative of hope, a testimony of triumph. What looks like chaos to you is part of a beautiful design that you'll be able to see more clearly as time goes on. Your pain has not been wasted. Your tears have not gone unnoticed. Your struggles have not been meaningless. Every difficult moment has been developing something precious in you: compassion, strength, wisdom, empathy, resilience. You are becoming someone beautiful through this process, someone who will be able to comfort others with the comfort you have received. Rest in the knowledge that I have plans for you, plans for good and not for harm, plans to give you hope and a future. These plans are not dependent on you being perfect or having everything figured out. They're not contingent on you never struggling again or never making mistakes. My plans for you are rooted in my love for you, and that love never changes, never fails, never gives up on you. I see the person you're becoming, and she is magnificent. I see the strength that's being forged in you through these fires, and it is beautiful. I see the wisdom that's being developed in you through these challenges, and it is precious. I see the heart that's being refined in you through these struggles, and it is pure gold. You're going to look back on this season one day and marvel at how I carried you through it. You'll be amazed at your own resilience, surprised by your own strength, grateful for your own growth. What feels impossible right now is going to become a testimony of my faithfulness in your life. Let my peace wash over every relationship that's been causing you stress. Some relationships will be healed and restored. Others will be released with grace and forgiveness. New relationships will come into your life that will bless you in ways you can't imagine. You don't have to force any of it. Just rest in my peace and trust my timing for all of it. Feel my peace flowing over every financial concern that's been weighing on your heart. I am your provider. I see every need you have before you even ask. Resources are coming. Opportunities are opening. Provision is being prepared. You don't have to worry about how it's all going to work out. Just rest in the knowledge that I am taking care of you. Let my peace cover every health concern that's been troubling you. I am your healer. I care about every part of you, body, soul, and spirit. Healing is coming in ways that might surprise you. Strength is being restored. Vitality is returning. Energy is being renewed. Rest in my healing presence, and let my peace do its restorative work in your body. My peace is flowing over every career concern, every decision you need to make, every direction you need to choose. I am your guide. I will show you the path you should take. I will open the right doors and close the wrong ones. I will give you wisdom for every decision and grace for every step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just trust me for the next step. Feel my peace settling over every regret from your past, every mistake you've made, every word you wish you could take back, every choice you wish you could remake. My forgiveness covers it all. My grace is bigger than your biggest failure. My love is stronger than your deepest shame. You are not defined by your worst moments. You are being redeemed from every mistake and transformed by my mercy. Let this peace fill the empty spaces in your heart where loneliness has lived. You are not alone. You are never alone. Even when human relationships feel distant or complicated, I am always with you. My presence is a constant companion, a faithful friend, a loving father who never leaves you nor forsakes you. Rest in the peace that comes from knowing your future is secure in my hands. You don't know what tomorrow holds, but you know who holds tomorrow. You don't know what challenges might come, but you know that I will be with you through every one of them. You don't know how things will work out, but you know that I am working all things together for your good. My peace is not just for tonight, it's for every day ahead. It's for the mornings when you wake up anxious. It's for the afternoons when stress overwhelms you. It's for the evenings when worry tries to steal your rest. It's for the middle of the night moments when fears seem larger than they really are. My peace is available to you in every moment, in every season, in every circumstance. As you close your eyes tonight, picture yourself in my arms. Feel the safety of being held by someone who loves you perfectly, someone who will never let you fall, someone who will never let you go. You are my beloved child, and nothing can separate you from my love. Not your struggles, not your failures, not your fears, not your pain. Let the sound of your own breathing remind you that I am the one who gives you life. Let the beating of your heart remind you that I am the one who sustains you. Let the comfort of your bed remind you that I am the one who provides for you. Let the darkness around you remind you that I am the light that shines in every darkness. Sleep peacefully tonight, knowing that when you wake up tomorrow, my mercies will be new. My strength will be available. My love will be unchanging. My presence will be constant. You will have everything you need for whatever tomorrow brings, because I will be with you, and I am more than enough. Rest now, my dear child. Rest in my love. Rest in my peace. Rest in my promises. Rest in the knowledge that you are safe, you are seen, you are known, you are cherished, you are chosen, you are loved beyond measure. The struggles of today do not define tomorrow. The pain of this season will not last forever. The difficulties you're facing are not your final destination. Joy is coming. Healing is coming. Hope is coming. Better days are ahead because I am preparing them for you. Close your eyes and let my peace be the last thing you feel tonight and the first thing you remember tomorrow. Let it be the foundation you stand on and the atmosphere you breathe. Let it be the song in your heart and the light in your eyes. You are going to be okay. More than okay. You are going to flourish. You are going to thrive. You are going to be amazed at what I do in your life and through your life. Your story is beautiful, and the best chapters are still to come. Sleep now in perfect peace, surrounded by perfect love, held in perfect safety. I am with you always, even until the end of the age. Rest well, my beloved. Rest well.